So everything's been cached. It's time for us to organize our scene in a way that makes sense for us to render. So the first thing I'm going to do is just set up a few render nodes. These are development nodes, and I tend to split between them. So these two will go along together. Let's create a geometry container. And on this geometry container, I'm going to call this RNDR blast particles. Gonna change the color to red. And inside here, all we're gonna be doing is pretty much just merging the blast. So get blast. And let's dive inside the blast. So we have these two, which are being merged together, and we have the out blast. So that's the one that we're gonna be bringing in. The other one we're gonna be bringing in is so it's another object merge, and we're going to be including the revolve particles on this element as well. So let's, because everything, these will have the same shader, same type of look, makes sense for us to render them together. So development revolve, this is, let's just create a null with an out here, out revolve. And we're going to be bringing that in. I'll call this get revolve, and we'll merge them together. Gonna add a null. I'm gonna call this one render, and I'm gonna make sure that the render flag is on this one. Okay, so this is the base structure for our particles element. Okay, this is what's going to be rendered on that area. Next, we'll grab this one. These are preparation ones, so these are not kind of related to any render in specific. So I'm going to create another geometry container, and here I'm going to be calling RNDR sparks. I'm going to change the color to red as well. And I'm going to do the same thing. So object merge, get sparks. Now I'm going to go to the spark section. And we have here the simulated sparks. So now we have the sparks. For now, that's it. I'm going to be focusing on rendering the robot and the remaining elements. Not going to be focusing or not going to include the environment. This is something that you can just include, but it's not all that relevant for the purpose of showing how you would render these. But definitely something to consider in case you actually want to render with the environment as well. You can work on the shader, but I'll mention that later on. But for now, this is what we have. So time to go to the out network. And we have here a beauty robot. The beauty robot is just a Redshift render node. And if you go to the objects, you'll see we just have the RNDR robot. We are considering pretty much all the relevant lights: sphere, entrance, spread, and dome. The main ones will definitely be just the dome and the sphere. And we can have a look at what this is giving us. I'm gonna switch to Redshift. No motion blur for now. The sampling, I'm also gonna make sure that we have some lower settings. So 416, maybe even lowering the quality by increasing the threshold to 0.02. Global illumination, I'm not going to consider global illumination at this point. And I think this should give us enough for us to be able to see what's going to be happening. And let's go to a frame. Oh, we can start with this frame. So I'm going to open render view. just going to go to main and make sure that I'm overriding the resolution to half resolution. This should be enough. And hitting render. Okay, so this is what we get from the render. It's pretty fast, pretty as usual. Redshift is amazing on that aspect for sure. Really, really fast. So you have some nice, interesting reflections. There's nothing going on in terms of particles or anything. So this is the main look without anything else. So let's try to include some of those extra elements.